Today for Devotions with Daniella, we are reading Generation Hope, How Inclusive Economics Can Help Us All Thrive. This is the end of a chapter called Outdated and Outmoded. To be fair, the rise of capitalism undoubtedly lifted millions of people out of poverty, improved lives, provided opportunities, and drove innovation that previous generations just couldn't imagine. For many decades, the so-called American dream thrived for some in the Western world, though for fewer around the world, but at a steep cost. The U.S. now accounts for less than 5% of the world's population, yet consumes 25% of the world's resources. With over a quarter of the world's billionaires living in the U.S., the American dream is simply not a model that can be scaled. By the way, if you would like to read this book along with me over the next few months, you can get some copies attached here. I'm not suggesting socialism or communism as alternatives. For many who grew up behind the Iron Curtain, capitalism was a welcomed savior. But we do need to recognize that the slow evolution of capitalism has failed to match the pace of change in the rest of the world. In the 21st century, rather than furthering society, capitalism as we know it has concentrated wealth, enabling an ever-shrinking number of people to reap the reward of the efforts of millions, even billions of people. If we want to stop burning our planet and harming each other, a middle path needs to be found, one that will give us sustainable economic growth in a way that allows participation of all people, with opportunity and stability. We need an economic model that works for all of us. The good news is the ripple of change happens quickly, which means we truly do have the ability to turn the tide. We have seen it in the #MeToo movement, in #Black Lives Matter, in Greta Thunberg standing outside the Swedish parliament day after day to simply be heard, and I Can't Breathe leading to thousands of protests in over 60 countries on all 7 continents within a week. Yes, even in Antarctica, a group of workers at McMurdo Station in Antarctica stood in solidarity with protesters by holding signs saying Black Lives Matter while stationed during winter. Millennials like us are finding our voice. We've paid the cost of a broken system long enough. We're ready and willing to make the changes needed, and we expect to hold our leaders accountable along the way. As long as we stick together, we have a little more hope of facing a seemingly hopeless situation. With that in mind, let's take a closer look at our broken system and the cracks we'll have to fix. Are you ready to meet the enemy, the all-powerful, all-consuming economic system we live in? Next chapter, the flaws of the system, for tomorrow.